Hey guys, so I wanted to talk to you about probably what's going to be considered the biggest insult to women as they get older, which is going to be you're old, you look old, something along those lines. You look like a hag or dried up raisin, something like that. And I want women to realize that as they get older, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think with age, there comes knowledge. And I hope that people accept the aging process because as long as we're living, we're going to get older. And you can look at aging as one of those things that you should be terrified of, or you can accept it with open arms and say, hey, I'm living right now. I have another opportunity to be better tomorrow or be better today, and I'm gonna work on myself. Came across this quote, and it was from Gwen Stefani. Act as young as you feel. You're not getting older, you're getting more entitled to be your fabulous self. I think she's about 50 years old right now. She just looks stellar. And she's one of those people that I feel that she's really been blessed because her features haven't changed too much. Now, I understand people would say, oh, she's undergone plastic surgery, but she looks great. She takes care of herself. Now, for people who are looking at her, and if you look, let's say, not as good as her and you're around her age, don't feel bad because here's the thing, we all age differently. If you look at a picture of a young female versus an old female, you will notice that the bone structure looks different. Over here, they talk about facial bones losing volume, and here is a picture of a woman in her 20s to 40s on the left, and then 65. So when you look at the older women, you can see that the eye sockets are droopier, and then look at the jaw. You're still going to look around the same age you are simply because of your bone changes. So I know you guys have seen it. You'll see a woman who has a Botox face, maybe she has a facelift, and even though she got plastic surgery, just by looking at her, you can tell that she's in her 50s or 60s. Yes, the skin looks a little bit smoother, but based on the jaw differences, based on the bone structure of the face, you can clearly tell the woman is in her 60s. So let's look at picture over here. You can see this woman, 35 years old versus 45 years old. 35 years old, she has more facial volume. 45-year-old, she has less. I think that when you look at her face, you can see her eyes look more padded when she was 35. Also, it looks like maybe her nose slimmed down, and then it just looks like her face is more angular versus the 35-year-old. I know one is smiling, one isn't smiling, but the way that I see it, especially with the fine lines around her eyes at 45, that's how you can tell she's getting older. And there's nothing wrong with getting older because this woman looks like she takes care of herself. It's just hard to stop signs of aging once they kick in. And that's why people say preventative measures, make sure that you stay away from the sun, make sure you use sunscreen, make sure you don't eat so much sugar. That way you can avoid glycation. And let's talk about glycation over here. So what glycation is that when you eat like a lot of sugar, the sugar molecules bind to your skin, the collagen and the elastin proteins, and then that causes a wrinkle. So you look at this picture over here, you can see how it's supposed to be nice, soft, smooth skin. And then once you have sugar or a lot of sugar, you can have this like sugar face. Here's other signs of aging over here. You can see that this woman over here, her left side of the face difference from the right side. Right side shows more aging, sagging brow, eyelid drooping. See the eye bags over there. The ears also grow. I didn't know that. You can see the folds more pronounced over here. And then the tips of the nose drooping, thinning of upper lips, and drying. Yeah, that's true actually. Your lips do get thinner as you age. Jowls forming, and then loss of bone from chin. People will say this is so unattractive. Oh, so gross. This woman's gonna look terrible. But remember, for signs of aging, women can't stop it. I think that most women, like 99% of women, when they're 60 years old, they are going to look like they're maybe 60 years old or 50 years old. I don't know too many 60-year-olds who look like they're 30 years old. If you are in the majority, don't be ashamed of it because that means that if you're 60, you've lived 60 years of life. And if you are 60 years old, you shouldn't live in the past like you want to look as good as you did when you were 30 or you're 20. You see, because then what if you live to your 80 years old? Then what? You're going to be looking back at your life and say, oh, I wish I looked as good as I was back in my 30s or 20s. You're doing such a disservice yourself if you just kind of cling on to your youth. Instead, I would suggest Look forward, try to take care of yourself, stay away from the sun, as I mentioned. But other than that, do what you can. Have a skincare routine. I'm a big fan of face serums, as you guys know. And that's it. Enjoy your life. Try not to be so bitter or resentful about younger people because I see, as a 33-year-old woman, I see women who are younger than me. So when I see women who are 23, I don't get jealous of them. I don't get resentful for them. I look at them and I say, hey, I hope they live it up because we're all getting older. I don't compare myself directly with another woman because we have different body shapes, different skin textures, different heights, different ethnicities. It's not healthy. So for me, knowing that this could be in the future, I think to myself, hey, I will take care of myself. I hope that the signs of aging is starved off for me as long as it can. But if I show up as a crypt keeper over here, I'm not gonna be worried. I will still be me, and I will say, hey, look at me. I don't have much hair anymore. I have wrinkles. It's fine. I've lived a good life. That's the thing. I want to live a life where I'm not so focused on my looks too much. And I know that seems kind of funny when I talk about things like pretty clothing and hanfu and skincare, but truly, I just want to live a life where I feel like I have this pretty image and then I can look back at life and say, hey, look at the pretty clothes I wore, and that's it. I'm not going to be claiming I'm 20 years old when I'm 40 years old. I will proudly say my age because every day that I live is another day that I can be on this planet. And it's really wonderful. I hope you guys have this thing in mind because I want people to be kinder to themselves as they get older. Seriously, be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself because you live with yourself. Okay? When you wake up, you look in the mirror, you see your face. And I don't want you guys to hate your face when you look in the mirror or feel this bitter or resentfulness, wishing that you look like you did when you were 21 years old and now you're 45. That's not healthy, okay? Work with what you got. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I hope that this video was useful to you guys. And as always, don't be a clown. See ya.